in this world, there are two groups of people who read. There are people who read for reading's sake, and there are people who read to understand. Meaning, baby, I would Stonebwoy beshe. So far as this particular Hiplife article, Nana Kojomula etroye on the Grammy portal, concerned. But Stonebwoy, enemy my brother, David Jermaine portfolio, Asaka, and I said Kumerika for Kumla, Akasa. Aha, Gossip 24. Messi, so be me a subscriber to so now click a bell notification icon so. No other ma follow ye. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, gossip24.com, any gossip24 TV. Now feel free to be sure do comment section no. Now I share videos some for so any be ahwe. Now my account for tap send and na edia ba. O person send this car e ma do for download the tap send app no. E available on App Store, any Play Store. Kai say reference code no J24 or UK ni Europe important mo dia ye the wallet no about abobo no. Obenya wallet no our app ni mo te a 2-in-1 2-in-1 and the tap send app ni so. Remember back to Stonebwoy come back on training so. It's last week and I made the brand say Stonebwoy spark a conversation be on social media to say ni na about a Hiplife article and na Kojomula etroye on the Grammy website. I make catch up say it is just an article like your opinion on 10 Ghanaian artists just say omo transforming Hiplife and that's what contributed to Hiplife. Our boy Reggie Rockstone say according to Miss Body or title no, but in the article no I acknowledge how necessary from Jedouble Ambule Pencil 1990 so more mobile Hiplife ni bi what is say na Reggie Rockstone be so mu Emma Hiplife no ye dey rap ni bo for kakra be mu ni ade e be do early 2000 so Batman any bandana now Shatta Wale at the time no mudi moko ni Linda mu ina ba mudi abe bata Hiplife despite being reggae dancehall artist so ni bali mu de omo ye bedu achame kwame mo any ade ex-do mu ina highlight mu ina article ni mu ansa na okwa subtopics okobo Reggie Rockstone di che Reggie Rockstone contribution Lord Kenya or brafo mu de omo ye ma Hiplife VIP mu de omo ye ma Hiplife tiny de ye Miss Boy de ye sa kwa de be ye just some de be do new generation of fast Cowboys anyway mu Black Sherif and then the odibesi King Paluta so Stonebwoy mu ne ya ojipum na Stonebwoy kumoji yi na ne say ya mboni di wo article ni mu enti no ono Stonebwoy ne ntiase ama chese samedi on David Jermaine portfolio akwa nkomo
on the Grammy portal.
Yeah.
And you are still challenging it. Do you still stand by it that there is no way we can write the Hiplife history and sound of Ghana and omit a page from a Stonebwoy page in that book?
This is very fresh. I if you can pull up what
right. So you were challenging. Okay, you said Ghana sound.
Thank you.
But people were like, you knew definitely the article was emphatic about a particular genre.
Okay, so
all right. So the Stonebwoy tweet said, and then I read out one guy. Whoever wrote this article is interestingly missing the name Stonebwoy.
Yeah.
So the Recording Academy, which you tag them, should do due diligence before they publish those articles aiming to capture the true image of the state of Ghanaian sound. With this,
before they capture the true image. Read.
Yes, of the Ghanaian sound.
Aiming.
Before
they capture Pacho reading honor.
Yes.
Before.
All right. So let me.
Due diligence for free honor.
All right. So you tag the Grammys to do due diligence before they publish those articles aiming to capture the true image of the state of the Ghana sound. Ghanaian sound.
Oh, no, quite big enough. Aiming to capture the true image. Okay, that on the side.
Right. At this point, everything was clear. Says Stonebwoy already say obe back it down from Nsema Okai earlier no. When already so be accept say what into no transfer kasa. Right.
I'm not against any name that have been mentioned, and I stand on fact. Read where I said that the name Stonebwoy cannot be omitted when it comes to the true image of what the state of the Ghanaian sound.
Which I think people have not disagreed, but they are disagreeing on the premise that this was emphatic. Unless, of course, today Overlord want to tell me, please do you have...
Hold on. Continue. This was emphatic to high life. To Hiplife.
To Hiplife. And the era, it was very emphatic about an era.
But he mentioned some other artists who were not in that era.
Unless, of course, you educate us on that.
Which is Black Sherif, our own brother, and King Paluta.
Okay, so,
And then he goes on this morning to say, Black Sherif ranks as one of the Ghanaian artists essential to Ghanaian Hiplife. Look, that's what's on the portal. Have you seen this? How do you explain that?
And there's a point, because Stonebwoy or such a break or sort of bossy. I mean, all respect to him. Me who I appreciate and adore Stonebwoy so much, because those days I was Lebanon Zone 2. What to say? Time on the Black City, Umbijina police station, no more faka, no more call, or more year rounds in a one Ghana park near Dinano. And we've seen how the hustle has paid off. He never backed down. And I give him his respect for that. But to say, to question Black Sherif, any King Paluta, or my inclusion in the list, is something I cannot comprehend, because in case Stonebwoy Inima, Black Sherif in the year 2024, the just ended Telecel Ghana Music Awards organized by Shatta Wale. Black Sherif in the winning Hiplife Hip Hop Artist of the Year. It is a more than the Hiplife Black Sherif I contributed to. Stonebwoy winning hip hop and I said Hiplife Artist of the Year that been and I auntie. Stonebwoy winning Hiplife Song of the Year that been and I auntie. But King Paluta na Stonebwoy question say new Artist of the Year. Guess what? King Paluta ne winning Hiplife Song of the Year or the Yahiti and he winning that particular award. So I still don't understand Stonebwoy, but of course, what I say.
Okay, so we want to shift away from now. I'm centered on you.
I get it.
Yes.
So I'm centered on the Ghanaian sound. Okay. I'm centered on the article being half dosed. TikTok has also expressed his displeasure.
Right.
And has detailed. Kokese has come to say that if you don't write your own story, so people carry it from different angles, trying to pin it different ways. I'm grateful that in all humility, we cannot disagree with the fact that this is a very, hardworking guy who is undoubtedly representing and adding to the catalog, the culture of Ghanaian music.
Certainly.
So when Livingston says Stonebwoy deserves a mention in such in an article that would represent us on a very international platform, that same platform Stonebwoy has the most articles written about him on Grammy platforms. Check it
certainly.
out. So it's not. So that should tell you that it's not the platform. It's not about my name in the platform, but it's about some of the things that we have to stand up for. You understand?
Okay, so I have.
So what do you make of? This is an example.
Yeah.
I definitely have to state I'm not attacking nobody.
No.
It's in context to the thing. Black Sherif ranks as one of the Ghanaian artists essential to Ghanaian hip life. I'm confused. And then the details further on in the same. And TikTok says good attempt, but a very poor delivery. Not resourceful enough to be featured on such a credible space. It's like the writer deciding to write about the story of hip hop and R&B, however missing some key and relevant information. I will advise Recruitment Academy to do due diligence, same words I use, to stories like this before publishing them.
Right.
Since it's of a great importance to the Ghanaian music industry. Right. This even further explains what I'm explaining.
Okay. So the reason why I want to omit the
TikTok,
the TikTok,
and Kwao bit,
the fact that now it was emphasizing the fusion of the indigenous sound and dancehall, which is a borrowed culture. And to them, the poster boys at that era that was able to blend them was Shatta Wale and Samini. That is where we want to center the argument that it was emphatic. What is your position in Hiplife? Because you have always championed an Afro dancehall. The first time I heard Afro dancehall was from you, and that is a part you are chattering. People are of the view that what is your concern with an article that captures Hiplife?
But Hiplife is our foundation. Hiplife will pay credit to High Life, and everything that is today must also pay credit to Hiplife. So I definitely draw inspiration. I'm a son of Hiplife till today, but it doesn't change the fact that the article wants to capture the Ghanaian sound. The article is capturing the state of Ghanaian sound, disguising under Hiplife somehow, and we know better. We cannot sit here to have our sound captured, whereby it takes it all the way and comes back to. I'm making my points from there to Sherif, our brother, and then King Paluta. I want to ask, what are their roles in Hiplife?
Maybe because of how they have identified themselves.
Are they Hiplife artists?
they identify themselves as such.
Have they said they are Hiplife artists?
For Paluta, I can stick my neck out for him. I have heard Blacko say he does high life and trap. I don't know, something like something of that sort.
Good.
Which obviously traces source from the indigenous genre.
So do I not trace my sources also from the Hiplife inspiration?
So let me read this out real quick, maybe to give you a better understanding of the issue.
And then it ends up by summing it up. It goes head and comes down.
Right.
Summaries it up with, that's an artist of the year. King Paluta is a new artist of the year.
Right.
And mentions a previous artist of the year. So believe you me, I know better in this industry.
Right.
And at this point, I didn't know say be a Stonebwoy not until contemporary use and say, and now to say, just the inclusion of Shatta Wale Samini and the actual problem Emma Stonebwoy but Ebiana or Shada and they are called for a black chef King Paluta mo because a Stonebwoy tiasia Obe say at the time in the early 2000s Linda being a massive hit was a Hiplife song. It's despite Samini being a reggae dancehall artist he contributed to the Hiplife genre at the time, giving us one of the timeless Hiplife songs, Linda. What is it? And regardless of Shatta Wale being a core dancer, ni Mokoho albums that time, the bandana from Ghana, that time was a Hiplife jam. What is it? What's a Hiplife jam? Before Shatta Wale transmogrify be a hardcore dancehall. And Shatta Wale has a lot of Hiplife songs. So I don't know where I honestly don't know. But Stonebwoy Grammy.
I speak less. I need to tell you straight.
Right.
I speak less, I know better. I understand the terrain more, and I'm always a student trying to continue to learn.
Right.
When something doesn't make sense, by the grace of God Almighty and by the virtue of the people, an established artist like myself who doesn't brag about things, those who know me in real life know that I know myself. I don't doubt. I know what I'm speaking about. What I've spoke about is the same thing a TikTok is speaking about. It's the same thing Kwa is speaking about. It's the same thing some G8 article is speaking about. This article has tried but does not capture the full state of the Ghanaian sound. May it not hide under Hiplife to try to coin it in a certain way. Then what is Samini doing in there if their style is contemporary? What is Shatta doing in there if their style is contemporary? What is Sonny Bali doing in there if their style is contemporary? Is my style not contemporary enough to be mentioned as even the current artist of the year? Are we writing in the past? I'm confused. There's a lot of questions I want to ask and I want to know also. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
That is what I am standing for on behalf of Stonebwoy, speaking the truth and saying, no, this is the vibe. And out of all the list mentioned, Stonebwoy is one of the ones who have come closest to the Grammys many times.
Yes, certainly.
So what will be the curse or the harm here if that writer finds a way to acknowledge our current artist of the year so that still continues to represent a certain pie, a certain piece of the Ghanaian industry? You can disagree all you want, but I'm being honest with you. It is not about articles being written on Stonebwoy.
And Stonebwoy again saying, what's then a if say ye pay kwine be so Eddie, the reigning artist of the year, a shemo article no baby. It's like you want us to put square pegs in round holes. How does that work? You want us to put square pegs in round holes. Say, an example. Say, me na me ye or heneneba, and I me one restaurant. Ebi a restaurant ni ento watch wo. And yes, ye ma watch ye acknowledge top 10 watch joints in Ghana. Ye acknowledge top 10 watch joints in Ghana. Ye di anti muni mu aba, ye di omo kan waba, ke haja kende mu aba, ye di omo mu twatwa so ho no mo aba. Now say, wait here, oba che, mina nansi ya meji best restaurant Ghana ha say. Meanwhile, I won't ton watch it, but I will say, then the beba say the over share a honey movie. O see then the beba say the over share honey movie. Meanwhile, lie here watch it for lie. What I say? Meanwhile, lie, watch it for lie. Ebia, na Hajia Fati, or Shemwa wo question say Hajia Fati no. Sisi auton toes afin. Ebia Hajia Fati shall say in the early 2000s no. Na Hajia Fati, eton watch it. That's how Shatta Wale Samini did it. But Stonebwoy say because or no, and then a reigning artist of the year saying Nishi Wananka Yede.
And Empress, which was produced by Quick Action on a compilation album in 2006.
Yes.
Both songs were reggae, house, those songs were reggae. And then he came out fully with Grade 1 album, which housed songs like...
I understand that. So, right. Makoma, it had tree in that. That's tree. Where do we get the tree influence from? From Hiplife, from High Life. Simple. It has reggae beat. When you carry Ghanaian sound of gospel music around that time, all you hear is reggae. When you carry Sonny Bali, all you hear is reggae. So what are they trying to distinct here?
Right.
What are they trying to distinct in that era? When you hear Tadi Lumba, Kojo Entry, you hear the influences of reggae as far as that.
Right.
What am I doing differently? Well, when these are my inspiration.
So I think the confusion with Stonebwoy and then he says Obi Katri in Kwadia now you need taking the inspiration from High Life and that is absolutely wrong. I got 624. Wait me actually your comment section. But so far as I'm concerned now, I think that Stonebwoy is getting the whole thing wrong. And this is why I find it difficult to believe that Stonebwoy at Sanasi the entire article. I got 624. Meaning the audio found portfolio there or ye and a juma. Say you also ye. Okay, say you boni beam tire, a juma also ya and no ye. But Stonebwoy and not shock your mouth for. Meaning so I shock also, but between our comment section. Okay.